Hi guys, it's Autumn, and today is the first day of October. I am so excited. This is my favorite month of the year, and so I decided that I am going to be celebrating Vlogtober, or Vlogoween, but I'm going to call it Vlogtober. I started YouTube in 2008, and I have always wanted to do one of the vlog challenges where you vlog every single day for a month. And so I have picked Vlogtober. I really wanted to be outside. This isn't the best lighting. It just feels so nice out, and it's so great because in Georgia it's just always so hot. It feels great today. So we are going to be making this video outside. The theme of today's video is the origin of Halloween, October 31st. I am not pagan. Just want to throw that out there, so I could get a lot of this wrong, but bear with me. I think it's really important to know the history of October and Halloween, and that's just my favorite. So this was fun to research. I hope you guys enjoy it. So it all started 2,000 years ago with the Celts. Their holiday was a pagan holiday called Samhain. The Celts are from an area that is now referred to as Ireland. The UK and France were celebrating November 1st, which is, when the harvest begins, all the crops are going to be fruitful, as Thanksgiving and all that sort of thing. That's when all the crops were becoming fruitful. It marked the end of summer and the beginning of the darker nights and the darker days. And oftentimes that the winter was associated with human death because it was kind of darker and colder. The Celts believed the night before November 1st was the night. They believed that November 1st was their new year, since that's when the harvest began, that the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. They crossed over. That is how Samhain came to be. That is when they believed that the ghost returned to Earth from the dead. They believed that they came to destroy their crops, so they built huge, massive bonfires, which, sounds very similar to what we still do in the fall leading up to October and during November. So they burned crops, they burned animals, and they made sacrifices to the Celtic deities. They wore costumes, typically consisted of animal heads and skins, and they attempted to tell each other's fortunes. Very interesting. The celebration was over. They relit their hearth fires from the sacred bonfire to protect them during the coming winter. Fast forward a little bit, and then another thing occurs. Two Roman traditions, celebrations, were combined with Samhain. The first was, again, I might not be saying this right, Feralia, and this is when they really celebrated the passing of the dead. The second was, please bear with me, Pomona, which is the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. Her symbol is apple, and the incorporation of this celebration into Samhain explains the bobbing for apples. Isn't that insane? And that is something that we do on Halloween and during fall festivals today. Alright, now this is the part where the Christianity starts to kind of come in, and the Day of the Saints and all of that. So bear with me. It's now getting away from all pagan sort of practice and now getting into Christianity and that aspect of the day. On May 13th in the years 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in honor of all Christian martyrs. There is also a Catholic feast of All Martyrs' Day, and that was established in the Western Church. Later, Pope Gregory III expanded the festival to include all saints as well as martyrs and moved it from May 13th to November 1st. In the 9th century, the influence of Christianity had spread into Celtic lands, where it gradually blended with and supplanted the old Celtic rites. 1000 AD, the church made November 2nd All Souls Day, which you all have heard of, I'm sure. That is also a day to honor the dead. So today it is very much believed that they were using this day to kind of replace Samhain and the Celtic rituals and their you know, their celebrations because of how many similarities it had with Samhain. Like, they also had bonfires, parades, they dressed up in costumes. They, instead of wearing the animal heads and the animal skins, they dress up as angels, devils, saints, as you would assume with a religious holiday. And All Saints' Day was also called All Hallows. And the night before, which is the traditional night of Samhain, began to be called All Hallows' Eve. And that eventually became Halloween. So originally, America was very limited in their celebrations of Halloween. Only a few people did, including Maryland. Maryland was a huge place that celebrated. And this is mostly because of the really strict Protestant beliefs. This made them not really want to celebrate all that much. As America became more and more diverse, different groups started to celebrate Halloween, and it became more and more traditional. Everyone kind of danced, and they would sing, they would tell each other's fortunes, they would tell ghost stories and make mischief. Colonial festivities by the mid-19th century became more common, but Halloween per se wasn't yet. Towards the second half of the 19th century, a bunch of immigrants came into America. A lot of these consisted of the Irish. Do you see where this is going? That's when they started dressing up in costumes. They'd go to house asking for money and food. And that is kind of how trick-or-treat originated, because these immigrants were poor and they needed food, they needed money, so they went house to house dressed up to ask for it. In the late 1800s, there was a sort of movement that wanted to get Halloween more into a holiday. It was more into the costumes and the fun and getting together with your friends and your neighbors than like the witchcraft and the tricks and like the darker side of it, which, you know, can still be fun. Parties started to focus on games and food and just having fun with your friends and family. Wanted to take the frightening and the grotesque out of Halloween, and so it became more fun than a dark holiday. So it started to lose a lot of its religious aspects and also its superstitious aspects as well. Started to become more secular again by like the early 1900s, like 1920s to 1930s. And now it's more of fun and gathering with family and friends and going from house to house to get candy. Most of this information came from history.com, which is a great source. I hope this was a little bit easier to understand. I know I found this to be incredibly interesting. I've always been curious about the history, and I think it's important to know going into October, where we're getting towards the end, where the harvest begins, and we celebrate the dead, and dress up, and bob for apples, and all of those fun things. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you stay tuned for the rest of Vlogtober. I have a bunch of exciting things planned. I am so thrilled to share my fun experiences with you. This is my favorite month of the entire year. I go all out. I'm excited to take you all with me. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!